Check this privy out. It's so exposed. Hilarious. It's day 63, and I'm sitting in my tent packing things up. And these are the irises right outside my tent. This campsite is pretty awesome. I just have to put away my tent. I'm getting a late start this morning at 8:30, but somehow my total 11-mile hike seems like a short, easy day. I have no idea in what universe that's actually true, but it just feels like, I can do this in 8 hours, no problem. I'm going to the refuge hostel again, and they have a town run that's included in the cost of the bunk for $20. The bunk is $20. So the town runs around 5. I would like to be there just in case I need to get anything. That's my goal for the day. There are some pretty views along the way, and the weather is looking really gorgeous. This is the water source for this camping location. It's right on the access trail. Just to clarify too, the 11 miles that I have has just like 2,200 feet of elevation gain for the miles that are on the AT. I think it's 10.6 miles on the AT, and then I have to take a 0.3 or 0.4 access trail to the refuge, which I think is almost all up. But yesterday, I think it was 3,300 feet of up, and on my 18-mile day, it was over 4,000. The easy day from Spivey Gap to Irwin was like 1,700 feet of up. I don't even know how I'm remembering this. And then the super cruisy easy day from Beauty Spot Gap, where I went southbound back into Irwin, that was 1,100 feet of up. That day was so easy. So this just seems sort of like a easy to medium in terms of the amount of uphill that I have to go. So I like that. Anytime it's significantly under 3,000 is really great. This is the view from the trail, and the slope of this grass right in front of me is the slope of the trail. It's steep. When we would play Yahtzee together, when our boys were little, Christopher would say, let's start this off with a Yahtzee. And I can just hear his voice in my head. And so whenever I'm hiking in the morning and there's an uphill, in my mind I hear, let's start this off with an uphill. Out in the open areas, they have these posts with the white blazes on them. So I can see 2. There's this one right here. I don't want to jinx it, but it's been 10 days since I left my poles behind. But perhaps now's a good time to confess that when I was at Nature's Inn Hostel a week ago, I left behind my thin gray foam pad that I keep on the top of my pack. And luckily, Amy, the caretaker, happened to be giving somebody a ride to Uncle Johnny's in Irwin, where I was, so she brought it to me. But I don't need to be diversifying the items that I'm leaving behind. This is a cool view right here as I'm almost at the top of Little Hump. So I have something from yesterday that I want to document. I met 3 section hikers who just started yesterday on a 55-mile section. They're from Texas. And one of them asked me if I was a thru hiker, and I said yes. And he said, well, actually, I already knew that. It was really obvious. And y'all, I was kind of proud. But I asked, like, what gave it away? And he said, well, one, my pack is about half the size of theirs. Okay. 2, my calves. 3, I look like I know what I'm doing. I feel really, like, embarrassingly proud of that. Anyway, that was pretty cool. I really like it that I look like a thru hiker, even though I'm very clean. Minutes after saying how clean I am, I dropped my buff in this mud pit. I just came out of the woods to this gorgeous view, but mostly what I'm thinking about is how much I dislike uphills and how the trail goes right up that hill. And another nice bog bridge. Bradley Gap has a very fine view. Now I must go up. It's just me out here today. Well, I've hiked less than 4 miles and less than 3 hours, but I'm tired. I do not like the ups. I am 0.3 away from the top of Hump Mountain. That has to be a false summit right there. And I just decided that my feet need a break. I can give an update on my reflective tape repair inside my shoe. It is doing so great. I'm very pleased with this. Maybe this will make it to Damascus. So I'm at mile marker, I don't know, 380 something. And I'll make it to 397 today. And Damascus is at mile 471. It's quite a ways for these shoes. Come on, shoes. I also decided to dry out my tent, even though that takes a little extra time. Elevation 5587. It's so beautiful here that I'm choked up crying. I just can't believe how lucky I am. So the next 5.3 miles down to Route 19 East in Roan Mountain, Tennessee, have over 2,000 feet of descent and something like 36 feet of ascent. So I am hoping this is the I go fast, cruisy portion of the trail, because then after 19 East, it's just a bunch of uphill back to the hostel. But this is a gorgeous, gorgeous view. What a day. Because of the Peak Finder sign yesterday, I can still look out and see Table Rock, where the Linville Gorge is. And it's really cool that I recognize it and I can look and know, like, that's what that is out there. The Roan Highlands absolutely win my award for prettiest part of the AT I've seen so far. There's a guy hiking the AT southbound from Harper's Ferry to Springer, wearing a kilt, carrying his bagpipe. His name is Indy. That's really cool. My water source. I get to climb up the rocks. At the stream, I put my bandana and my buff right in the water. It feels so good and refreshing. I finished my second state. I'm leaving North Carolina for good. Now I've completed Georgia and North Carolina. And when I step over this, I'll be in Tennessee, and there will be no more crisscrossing back and forth. I got a little emotional earlier about it. It's a pretty exciting milestone. Sometimes I'm hiking along and there's just a huge rock. Like, I can't, it's so big. I got down to a low enough elevation for some more flowering rhododendron. Well, speaking of surprise rocks, wow. I read that there used to be a bridge here, and trail volunteers built these steps in, and it's possible to walk across the rocks, which is awesome. This is a big road. Well, I am just laughing at 8:30 a.m. me, who said, it's just 11 miles. That's easy. Oh my God, literally, ha ha ha. I did cover the 5.3 downhill miles to 19 East that I just crossed in 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is warp speed for me, but it wore me out, and now the last nearly 2 miles are almost all uphill. Check out this gorgeous water. I do believe it's a sign of what's to come tomorrow. There are a couple of waterfalls on the trail tomorrow, uphill from here. Wow. Nice. This is just after that bridge over the water. Wow, that's a lot. Well, this is a proper rhododendron tunnel, and it feels cooler in here, which is lovely. A lot of trees came down right through here. That's a lot of trees down. What a nice path these trail maintainers built. Wow. Wow. That's the section of trail I just walked up. I didn't even notice those trees just horizontal right beside / above me. The amount of trail work that has gone into this section since Hurricane Helene is, wow, really incredible. I'm so grateful for the many hours and all the people who made this trail possible. I cannot imagine what it was like before all these improvements were put into place. It's really nice, you know, other than being uphill. So is this a blueberry bush? Those are blueberry flowers. I just ran into my slack packing through hiking friends, Big A, from a few days ago, and the pair M&M. They were hiking this section southbound as a slack pack, so they are a little bit ahead of me on trail, and it was so great to see them. That is an unusual placement of a white blaze on that tree. It's a cool tree though. I just walked through some very tall grass while it was a little brief downpour. So now I can feel my feet just squishing. They're soaking wet. And I'm on this forestry road that is the Blue Blaze to the refuge. So I am close, and for right now, this is fairly level, which is a nice change from all that up, for sure. I am back at the refuge hostel. It's actually after 8 p.m. At the end of my hike, it was raining, and when I got back to the refuge, it started raining pretty hard. So I got pretty soaked. I've got my shoes in the boot warmers here to dry them out. I did the usual like shower, laundry, had my dinner that I bought at the grocery store a few days ago. Big salad again, so good. And my friends Magellan and Badger are here, and I'm so excited to be hiking with them for the next couple days. They regularly slack pack as much as they can, and after doing an overnight with my pack, I can tell that my body would just much rather do a slack pack. So that's what we're doing tomorrow. There's a chance of rain. It was a hard day today. It definitely wasn't easy, but it actually took me less than 8 hours to go that 11 miles. So I was right about the time. It just didn't feel easy. Oh, and that was very entertaining, that part. It's lovely here. April is such an amazing host still. I've had a really nice evening hanging out with Magellan and Badger, and I'm getting ready to call a friend, and then I'm going to bed.